We're on active duty right now. I'm on active duty and he's a dependent.
Okay.
Duty member. I've been in the military for almost 25 years.
25 years.
I'm the active duty member.
Okay.
And I am the dependent.
I'm a wife of an active duty member.
I am an active duty dependent.
The dependent. Okay.
Well, my husband is active duty,
Okay.
so that would make me the dependent.
All right. And about how many years have you guys been in the military?
Patrick has been in the military for 5 years.
5 years serving.
25 years total.
Okay. And deployments during that time?
No, I haven't been deployed, thank God. Mississippi to Tampa, Tampa to Dallas, Dallas to Arizona, Arizona to California, California to Hawaii, Hawaii to Georgia, Georgia to Colorado. 11.
More than you thought. Any permanent change of station for you guys?
Not for us, no.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to say because when you deploy, I always go back home, but the PCS moves are different than that.
Yeah, 3 ordered moves.
3 ordered, yeah.
Yeah, 3 ordered moves.
Okay.
That was, we started in Tucson, Okinawa, Kansas, Missouri, Germany, Colorado. So 6.
Okay. Okay. And during that time, how many PCS moves? Well,
In 14 years, there have been. I should know this better, but okay. Should I include the original move as well?
Yes.
Like from back home, like from home.
mm-hmm.
This would be 6. This would be the 6th home.
During that time.
2.
Okay. And any deployments?
No deployments.
Does your family use any alternative medicine? And if so, what?
Yeah, we use a lot of supplements and homeopathic. We did chiropractic a lot when we were in Hawaii.
When we could afford it.
Yeah, it was really expensive. We paid out of pocket, and it was really helpful. I mean, we did some really intensive chiropractic for about a year.
Okay.
And, like, our vision got better. It was
Everything
crazy.
improved.
Okay.
Yeah, and then,
Measurably.
yeah, so we're good. I mean, that's what we've done. I mean, we don't eat organic, but like 90% as much as we can. We don't have any, all our products were like, our beauty products, our health, health products, they're all, organic or natural or whatever. So we try to be as,
House water filter.
Okay.
Get the chlorine and the fluoride out of the water and that sort of thing.
So, and what are your top 3, would you say, most frequently used forms of alternative medicine?
Top 3? Well, I can't think of one. No, we use essential oils, and that would, essential oils. Well, then we do have some herbal, like medicine comparable to like a Neosporin medicine that we use too, which doesn't have any essential oils, but it was all done from herbs and stuff.
Okay.
So I guess herbs and essential oils.
All right. And about how often would you say you use them?
Every day.
Every day.
I use them every day. My boys use them every day. Once in a while.
Okay.
He's getting there.
We use spiritual guidance quite a bit and
Okay.
prayer, and that's probably the number 1.
All right. Okay. And so when you're not deployed, about how often would you say you use that?
Every day.
Daily.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you're deployed, does it stay about the same, or would you say it's more or less?
For me, it was more.
Okay.
It was more seeking out to spiritual leadership, their insight and the steps to take and how to walk that walk type thing.
Right.
Yes, now we do. We use essential oils.
Okay. And would you say you just use those with yourself, or do you also use them with your children?
I use them on my children, and we love it.
All right. And for yourself, do you use any specific?
Yes.
Okay. And about how often would you say you use essential oils?
Gosh, almost every single day.
Okay. All right. Now, what about when your spouse is deployed? Were you using any form of alternative medicine during deployments?
I was using essential oils when he was deployed because he was deployed recently, but Even before I really knew about essential oils, I would also do massage on my boy.
We do probiotics. We do homemade smoothies, and we pack them with all kinds of healthier things instead of using regular vitamins. We do that instead of using vitamins. We just make homemade smoothies with instead of fish oil, we use ground flaxseed for omega. Probiotics, essential oils, like I said, yoga, prayer. I don't know, like I feel like I should have wrote it down, like but like you said, I would have had more time to think about it, and then my answers may have been different.
What would you say are the 3 you use the most?
Essential oils, praying, and like probiotics, like things like that I can put into their diets.
Okay.
That is a huge thing. Like wherever I can pack in as many vitamins as possible without giving them a vitamin, because I feel like you just waste that. You go to the bathroom and
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And would you say, as far as frequency, do you use those 3 like on a daily basis,
Yes.
weekly?
Daily, yes.
Daily basis. Okay. And what about when your spouse is deployed? Do you find yourself using those modalities more or less, the same?
I would say I do more, like that's when I actually start to take like a B supplement and things like that, and it's just to kind of I feel like I have a better energy level throughout the day, and it could be mental, but I feel like that. I definitely pray more and also go to church more, and I exercise more when he's gone. I'll run a lot more, and I'll get up at the crack of dawn to do it, because that like levels out any stress levels for me. Hi, Allie. To be able to keep up with the kids. So I'm trying to think. The food usually stays the same, like with me trying to give them as many vitamins as possible. I also tend to become more focused on it, because it gives me something to do, if that makes sense. I don't know.
So the children is about the same frequency?
Yeah,
of
I
use,
would say
but
so.
More for you.
Yes.
Okay. And what would you say the most 3 frequently or commonly used?
Well, prayer,
Okay.
and then essential oils, and then there's not really another one.
Okay. So prayer and essential oils.
Yeah.
All right. And about how often would you say you use them? Daily, weekly, monthly?
Prayer daily.
Okay.
Essential oils, it depends on what's going on, but at least weekly.
And with your children, do you use any form of alternative medicine?
Both.
The
yes.
same.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever use alternative medicine for stress coping specifically?
Definitely.
Okay. About how often would you say you use those forms of alternative medicine for helping with stress?
Stress, well, weekly. I'm a student.
Okay. Would you say that you use any form of CAM or complementary alternative medicine for stress coping specifically?
No.
Yes, for stress coping, but can I get specific?
Sure.
Okay. But learning about essential oils, the being able to cut down on sicknesses. I know that if I rub some essential oils, if I diffuse essential oils or rub it on my boys' feet, their colds, if they start to get a sore throat or a runny nose, it either stops that within a day or 2, or it cuts down substantially on the length of their cold. So I use it. I use it for stress, but I also use it for preventative and to help cure sickness.
Thing now, since I've done school, I do teach my son breathing techniques to help him with when he gets anxiety or feels overwhelmed. But during the deployment, that was quite a few years ago, and I didn't know a lot about them, and I wish that I would have. But like I said, prayer is really what got us through.
Okay. All right. What about for stress coping? Would you guys use any form of alternative medicine to help with stress?
Yeah, I would, absolutely.
But a yes or no, or do you want more elaboration on that one?
Yes or no, and then about frequency, would you say for stress specifically?
Stress, I mean, if I could use like yoga once a week would be awesome. Maybe once a month visiting like a massage therapist or something.
Yeah.
That stuff would be really nice to be able to just have complete access to without having to go figure it out for myself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Form of alternative medicine for stress?
No.
Not really.
Yeah. Okay. And what about during deployments? Would you say you tend to use alternative medicine more or less, or about the same?
he hasn't
Probably less for me.
deployed. You haven't deployed
Yeah.
since we
Not
really
lately,
got
yeah.
into more of the herbals and the essential oils. He hasn't
Okay.
deployed, so
All right.
can't really answer that one.
So now a question for when you are deployed, when you're downrange, is there any type of alternative medicine at all? Any sort of forms available to you?
Probably not.
Do you use any form of alternative medicine for stress?
Exercise.
Exercise, we pray, we do massaging each other. We do what you can do adjustment-wise for cover it at home. And I guess you would, we do yoga, which is very,
Therapeutic, yeah.
Yep, we
So
just
that's a big thing. Exercise is just huge anyway.
deep breathing. We're
Okay.
really jumping up to deep breathing.
Would see as being beneficial when you're deployed? Any forms that?
Not that I don't know. Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Massages, it's-
Massages
Maybe
for the
chiropractic.
spouses while you're gone.
Yeah, for me, maybe some chiropractic work would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially sleeping on
Could be.
cots and the ground or wherever you sleep, working on the jets.
All right. What about not deployed when you're on your home duty station? Is there anything you'd like to see covered by military insurance or available at the base clinic? Things like that.
I think
Acupuncture,
acupuncture and,
definitely.
chiropractic massage type stuff would be beneficial.
I would just like them to be, open to more ideas. I don't know how their funding is with pharmaceuticals, but because most of them are military, I don't know how that works, but it just seems like they're just so quick to throw medicine at you, even with all the side effects, and there's definitely an alternate way. They finally got a great nutritionist at the base, but she'll PCS soon, but you know what I mean. But if that was just a permanent thing, for everyone's overall health, because everything starts with how you eat, I think is big. So just go back to the basics, with everything, and try that first before you start doing medicine. Just be a little more open-minded.
Okay. Any forms of alternate medicine you'd like to see either offered at the clinic or covered by TRICARE, or do you feel like pretty much military system is good how it is?
Well, I don't think there's enough preventative care.
Okay.
It's basically just go to the clinic whenever something's wrong, and then you get your prescription and you wait for 3 days at the pharmacy, and then that's it. So maybe like the chiropractics, because it's covered for the active duty, but chiropractic care is not covered for dependents. So that would be really helpful.
Okay, chiropractic care covered.
And maybe classes, some classes on like some different forms of, what did you call it?
Alternative medicine.
Alternative medicine, yeah.
Okay, so just being more informed.
Yeah.
TRICARE to pay for more of the alternative medicine so it's more accessible. It would be wonderful if there were, in the wellness center, if they offered a little bit, if they had a bigger variety of alternative medicine, and if there were more people who knew about the alternatives. I think that's probably one of the biggest things is just education.
Okay. Are there any specific modalities you'd like to see covered or offered?
Well, now that I'm learning about essential oils, aromatherapy is huge, but also acupuncture and massage.
Was deployed or future deployments, are there any specific programs or forms of alternative medicine that you feel would have really, if the base was offering them or covering with military insurance, that would have been very helpful to you as a military family?
Absolutely. Especially focusing on stress. Being able to go to a place where you can get a massage, acupuncture, aromatherapy, where you can feel like you can release some of your stress and then go back so you are a better spouse.
I think military families, they should have nutritionists where military families go in and sit down and talk, because we live in a world that pushes it, and when husbands are gone, it's easier to give your kids fast food and to do things that make convenience. And like we don't do fast food, but it's one of those things that like I think to have that opportunity to sit down and go, these are good nutrition choices. And because for a kid, their diet is huge. And I think that their behavior and how they sleep and how they act in school and all of those things starts with what you put into it. So I think that would be a very good thing for the military to do somehow and integrate it. And to have classes like therapeutic yoga for like spouses when they're deployed, like a massage wouldn't do the same thing for me as going to a yoga class, because it's a different, in my opinion, release of stress. Like it just makes me want to go to sleep if I get a massage or something like that. Like, which would be great if there was someone else here. But in that case, it makes me feel like that would be more rejuvenating to me. I think those kind of things would be very helpful. Getting people active, and I know they do certain things like family fun days and whatever. You know, you get the email that we're doing this activity for bowling or whatever for deployed family members, and I think that is a great thing to do. But I think also things to focus more on your internal health, like yoga or nutrition classes or things that you can do as a family that are very active, and I think that would be very beneficial. To give medicine for everything, whether it be stress or depression, and those are legitimate things, but I think that if you approach them differently at first, let's try different avenues before you just immediately give someone a medicine, because we've had situations even with Allie when she was little, to kind of go around in a circle over it. I took her to the doctor because she was acting really like she wasn't herself, and Allie's our very happy little girl, and she was screaming, but she wasn't pulling anything, didn't have a fever, and the doctor said, well, I'll just give her an antibiotic, and I said, whoa. He's like, well, every time I go near her, she screams, I'll just get it. And I said, I'd rather hold her down, and he was actually shocked that I had said that. He's like, you'd rather you hold her down and I look in her ears than me just give her a medicine. I'm like, yeah, because why would you give her a medicine if she doesn't need it? So I think and he said I was the first mom to ever say that to him. And that made me very sad, and I was like, well, why pump her full of antibiotics or medicine or whatever you might think it is if you're not sure? So I think there needs to be better educated doctors in the military. Not that their education is not great, but I think they need to, we're not one size fits all. Like don't just hand everyone out what they want because it's easier for you. And things like that was a huge eye-opener of how much I really needed to pay more attention. And even before that time frame, I had always been like, no, we don't need antibiotics unless you are 100% sure. So if there was some other way to treat kids and treat adults and therapies, and I know that you can go get counseling and things like that, but I think that should be pushed before anything else. And if they had more funds for that, that would be great. But, so, yeah.
I'd definitely like to see like yoga classes. I know some of the gyms, they have people that will come in and do them, but it's kind of a hit or miss. I think the ability to go and get massage therapy, let's say for aches, acupuncture I've heard is really well for like pain location and stuff like that. So things like that I think would be pretty cool to be able to access them without having to jump through so many hoops.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm going to give you an outlier here, but I think nutrition, like nutritional classes, when I was a young mother, I think that would have been something I really would have sought out, especially on the income as a new soldier. That would have been really helpful. And I think I see that a lot too, a lot of unhealthy food choices that I think really, I don't know. I know when I eat poorly, I feel poorly, and not just physically, but sometimes even emotionally. I feel better when I eat better. So I think that would be important as well, nutrition classes.
Absolutely, I think nutrition classes and availability to get that maybe through like a pharmacy or something, you can get your...
Yeah, even like an RN could teach it. I mean, something as simple as that.
Right.
When you're downrange, it just kind of depends on the situation that you're in. If you're operating at a forward operating base, sometimes it can be very limited what they can bring in. But I think if you can, have somebody who is trained in like massage. I know there was plenty of times where I spent hours and hours inside of a vehicle with, all my gear on, and I'd come back and I'd be just riddled and sore. And when you're out there, it's a very stressful environment in areas that you're at. And it's really easy to carry that, And so I think being able to get a massage or something like that would be nice. And everything else is pretty much covered. I mean, it's the basic needs. It depends on what your job is. For me, my second deployment, I was gone every day. I didn't have time to sit. And, I'd wake up, eat, sleep, go, and that was it. So you really have a whole lot of time other than, But taking care of yourself is very important, obviously. So.
Right.
I think availability of classes. Maybe I just keep going back to
That's
that.
okay.
But I really do. Like, I think of being a young mother, because that's, you know, when he deployed the first and second time, we just had Elijah, and he was 0 the first time, 2 the second time. And I wasn't really connected to the military like I could have been, but I just think that if I would have been able to connect more with some of those resources as far as alternative medicine, maybe some of the essential oils, maybe exercise, like you said, yoga. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be yoga, but just classes that are available and at a good time that actually provide childcare too, so that mothers can go, young families
Yeah,
can
like
go.
breathing classes and things like that.
Breathing techniques.
And childcare is like the number one, if you can't.
There's no childcare,
No.
nobody's going to be able to go.
That's a good point.
So
Needs to be thought of.
I remember that was a barrier to
Mhm.
certain things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'd like to see at least acupuncture and chiropractic. I mean, I think at some level it is, but you have to go through so many hoops
Okay.
and see like a medical doctor and kind of like, yeah. Well, you have to kind of present your case and why it's better and stuff like that. So it's really hard to do. So it's like, who can't bother with it? And then when they do, then there's only like one person that does it for like an entire region. So it's like you get there like once every 4 months, which
Doesn't help.
Did you see that?
I mean, I like the way that the Asian culture like stops at a specific amount of time to do like stretching or yoga or some kind of exercise. Especially when you're behind a computer all day, it's so hard for you. So I think that it would be beneficial. I'm gonna try to sell it to the boss. He said.